My name's Ridwan. This is Brenda, and you're watching another episode of R&B Reviews. Today we're going to be talking about What If, and I just wanted to start off the first question because I know we talked about this before, but after watching the show, do you think that the show is canon now? Do you feel like it's a canon show?
I feel like they lean towards that. Like they made it like it's a possibility that some of these things we can see.
Yeah.
Or they were hinting towards the future of like what we can see in the movies.
And like the
Multiverse of Madness, Spider-Man Far From Home, all that stuff.
Do you feel like it built upon like the characters that you've already seen? Like when I was watching the show, I would see characters that I already seen in the movie, and even though it was a different universe, it felt like it was adding to that character. Like it felt like it was building upon like there's Dr.strange character. Spoiler, so if you watch this video after you've watched the show, like Dr.strange character, Killmonger, I feel like it's expanded on who exactly like Killmonger is as a person, or more of who Killmonger is. So even though it's a different Killmonger, I still felt like it built upon what we've already seen. Yeah.
I don't know if it built like when I'm considering like build it on a character, it's like what I've already know a character for, and then you're just adding to that. Killmonger, like some characters, I agree. Like Killmonger, I feel like the Killmonger we've seen could already do this. Like I didn't. Yeah. This like he's already that smart. He's already that skilled. He can do that. But characters like Black Panther, it kind of showed more of like we already seen Black Panther be like the noble king and everything. But in the movie he was like younger, and then he was a prince evolving into a king, over some circumstances. But this episode 2, I believe it was. You get to see who he actually is. Like even without being like the king of Wakanda, he's like the guy. Like he's the main guy. He has the ability to turn like Thanos off of just speaking with him.
Just his natural like charisma.
Yeah.
I like this character. Like I still felt like it was him, but he got to play like a little bit more loose, and it was kind of shocking to see him play that role. So when I first seen him, I was like, whoa, and I was like, yo, is it him or is it not him? Mm-hmm. And even with like the first one, when you see like Captain America, I forgot his name before he's Captain America.
Steve Rogers. So even when you see Steve Rogers and he doesn't have like the suit, then you're like, oh, okay, like this is his personality. Even though they're the same, like he really is this like all caring person without the suit. He really portrays like who he is. So I don't know, like just watching the show just made me like some characters like a lot more, and like have an appreciation for some of the characters. Did it start out like you wanted to watch it for sure? Like you were gonna watch it?
No, episode 1 I feel like was the worst episode. It was a little slow. Yeah, I was like, yo, episode was cool.
It was cool, like Peggy Carter and all that. But
yeah, it felt like bad. And then with episode 2, I think I started liking it around episode 2, and then after every episode, it felt like it was like getting like better and better. I think it was like there's one slow episode. It might have been like around episode 5. It was after the Dr.strange episode. I can't remember what exactly was right after that one.
But what happens?
I can't remember because it was slow.
Is it the zombie one?
No, maybe it was the zombie one. Maybe the zombie one is the one that I didn't like as much, even though it was interesting.
I didn't like it.
Oh, what's the one after Killmonger?
The after Killmonger is the Thor party. That was kind of my favorite.
You like the Thor party?
You didn't like it?
No. That's the one that I was like, yo, this one's kind of slow. I didn't like the Thor party that much.
I thought it was mad. Like it had nothing to do with anything really.
Yeah.
But it was just funny. Like it was just jokes to see. Like
Aaron said the same thing.
He grows up without like Loki, so he's just like, fuck, let's party, bro. And then he goes and just parties. Just the jokes were just funny.
I thought he was gonna call the one girl Karen Captain Marvel, because he was about to call her something. He's like, you know what they call people like you on this planet? And after he said something else.
He said party pooper.
Yeah, but in my mind I was thinking Karen. I wonder if he was gonna say like, I wonder if the word that was supposed to be in there was like the B word, like call her be. But like I don't know, like I thought he was gonna say Karen, so I thought that was kind of funny.
Imagine he said Captain Karen, that would have been joke.
That would have been funny if he put that in, but I don't think they're allowed to say it. But in my mind, I thought it. But did you think of a word there, or like
I thought he was gonna say the B word too.
The B word.
The B word, yeah. That's like they call you. But
did she give you the vibe? Like, do you like after watching it? I don't like Captain Marvel.
No, I don't. Like, bro, you just came in. How do you even know like what he's about?
Exactly.
Like you didn't even go. Like it shows her popping into the atmosphere and then going straight to Thor. Like you weren't even briefed. Like what are you
on anything? About? She just attacked him. So I wondered, like when watching it, I was like, I don't like Captain Marvel, but I don't know if I never liked Captain Marvel from the beginning. Because even in Shang-Chi, this is a Shang-Chi spoiler. Even in Shang-Chi, when she kind of like pops up, and in like the like after credits or whatever, she wasn't likable there.
Yeah, she was super annoying. I don't know what her character. Maybe it's Brie Larson. Maybe it's the actor. Like,
yeah, maybe it is the actor.
I don't know. I even have it in the notes. Like, I was like, that episode was just funny. Like, there's mad cameos, but we didn't really get to see anything. Okay, so that was your two worst ones. What was your favorite one?
My favorite one was probably the Killmonger episode.
Killmonger?
I think Killmonger was one of the best ones, and then like the Doctor Strange one was like interesting because Doctor Strange was in so many different situations. Like the one because that's the one where he's trying to save like his girl.
Yeah.
And then it just was wrong. Like no matter what he did, like he even went to a restaurant.
He even stopped the building goes on fire and she dies.
And she dies. Like I was like, yo, that's crazy. The restaurant one was the crazy because I was watching it with my brother. They walk in, the killer or the robber or whatever criminal walks into the restaurant, turns around and just shoots her directly. Like he doesn't even look at anyone else and just shoots her.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, that's crazy. Like I kind of felt bad for him.
At a certain point, if I'm Doctor Strange, I'm gonna stop feeling bad because I've already seen her die like several times.
Yeah.
So I already know it's gonna happen, but I'm trying for it not to happen, and I have the time. So it's like if she gets shot, it's like, man, I gotta do this again.
But how could he not do? Well, they kind of explain like the node, like certain things are meant to happen. But like, dang, like I was like, yo, there was literally nothing he could do. Like he literally tried everything, and they were just all failing.
That I had a question about that. So in that, the Ancient One says to Bruce, or not Bruce, Dr. Strange, that she is a pivotal moment in time, like that. I forget the absolute point in time where you can't change that, right? So it's like, okay, that makes sense. And then she's like, the reason being is because if she lives, then and you guys have that relationship, you don't become Doctor Strange and you don't save the universe, and that's meant to happen in this timeline.
Yeah.
So he's like, why can't I have both? But she's like, no, it can't happen, which makes sense because he's not going to become Doctor Strange. But she tells us she split Doctor Strange into two. One that's still trying to save and change the absolute point.
Yeah.
And one lives out the life as Doctor Strange. So how does one live out as Doctor Strange, yet the universe still dies at the end? That doesn't make sense. He's there to save it. What happened?
I'm trying to, because I know exactly what you're speaking of. Because he was supposed to beat the evil, quote unquote, evil Doctor Strange, right?
Yeah.
And then he failed. And then he was supposed to be.
But he's at that point, he's already become Doctor Strange. Like half of him has already become Doctor Strange. So she's saying you can't be with this girl and she can't live.
I'm needed to save the universe.
Because you're needed to save the universe. But then she splits you into two, and part of you already saves the universe. So how does the universe go?
Wait. When she split the person into two, so she took Doctor Strange, she split him into two. What did the other guy do?
The evil one?
No, the good one. What did he do in the meantime?
He went to Camouflage, became Doctor Strange.
Okay.
Protected the universe.
Maybe technically he did save the universe. Maybe not their universe, but he ended up saving the multiverse.
I don't know, because it says they're still in the same timeline. That's why the bad one gets pushed like hundreds and thousands of years back in time.
Yeah.
And he learns about the library and all that.
I think you could technically make an argument that he did save the universe.
How?
Because at the end he joins like the Guardians of the Multiverse. So then that wouldn't have happened.
That's what was needed to happen.
Maybe
the Watcher didn't even see that.
Yeah, but I'm thinking maybe it was an attempt. Like maybe she's like, dang, like this is the only chance that we have to save this like universe.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like I didn't think about it that much, but like I still think it makes sense. And I always wonder, like, the Watcher lives in so many different times and like kind of knows when she's gonna die and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. Like I wonder what that's like as a character living in so many like different times. Like you get to go back in time and say like, hey, this is what happens, and like, do you get to go back in time and talk to yourself? I don't know. It just seems like such a big power that Doctor Strange himself, because he becomes the Supreme Sorcerer Supreme. So like, why isn't Doctor Strange himself coming back and saying like, yo, doc, like, yo, I'm telling you, like, I'm telling you that you gotta give up on this. I don't know. I just think about it.
Yeah, it was a weird episode. Like the whole time travel stuff, it doesn't like. It doesn't make the most sense, and it like whichever way you use it, you can use it against them because of what we already seen.
What do you think of like the animation quality? Like, how did you feel like the animation style of the show?
It was cartoony, which I guess they were trying to do, but overall, like I think some of it looked really good.
You're like cool with it?
I was cool with it.
I liked it. I thought it was like really good. Like I liked their choice of animation, and it was kind of it was consistent throughout it all. How do you feel about like Killmonger's character? Did you like him more or did you like him less?
I liked him the same. I actually always loved him. Like he was actually a sick character. He
Super sick villain.
So I had no issues with his character, and if anything, it gave me like this is when I was like, oh, okay, this is sick because it's giving me a different perspective.
Yeah.
And like he could be doing this. He's that smart where he could be doing this. He actually just became the king without having to kill his people.
Yeah.
So it was cool. I don't know. It was a good storyline. He ended up becoming Black Panther himself.
What was his plan? His plan was like he had the robots attack and then he defeated the robots with everyone. Was that to get more love?
So his plan was to have the States versus Wakanda, and then but the States would have the military be created by the things that he made in MIT. So like the Gundams, pretty much the suits that don't have soldiers. So when he did that, he knew how to disable them without actually having to like fight too much.
Yeah.
But he wanted to show Wakanda that he was doing this as a good person and like they could trust him.
Yeah.
And then get within the family. So what he did is he saves. He knows it's gonna happen because he hacks some files. He saves Tony Stark. Tells Tony, "Hey, your bro set you up." And then Tony's like, "Oh, thanks, man. You're sick. Like now you're my COO."
Yeah.
And then he's like, you know what? My dream was to create these soldiers. And he's like, you saved my life. I'll help you make that was pretty much it. It was like bang, bang, bang. And then Tony makes him. He kills Tony. And then
okay, so when he killed Tony, I think this is one of the best episodes. But were you kind of shocked? Like, oh my god, like this is supposed to be a Marvel show? Like, yeah, like he actually killed him in a Marvel show?
I wasn't shocked because a lot of people have been dying. But I was kind of shocked throughout the whole theme of the 9 episodes. Tony wasn't significant. Like, Tony was getting smoked a lot. He was a zombie. He got killed.
Oh, yeah.
There's a lot. Like, he didn't do nothing.
They didn't really have his character. They had it in the first 2 seconds when he was going to, like, the coffee shop. Mm-hmm. And then he, like, got packed in the coffee shop. I'm trying to think. You're right. Tony wasn't, like, a major or a recurring character. To be honest, he almost had no role in the show.
Yeah, and then he pretty much sets up States. He kills Tony because now Tony is working with the government because he's the weapons dealer. He kills Tony, but he sets it up where it looks like a Wakandan Dora Milaje had done it.
Yeah.
So then it's like starts a battle between the States and Wakanda, and then he goes to Wakanda and says, "Here's the guy that's stealing your vibranium. And just so you know, like there's a war coming, and I want to be able to help you. I'm your prince, actually."
Yeah, and then he gets a hug and stuff like that. And they accept him.
Bro, the mom was cheesed, and then the mom she's like, "Yeah, she's good," because in the battle she looks at him and she's happy.
Yeah. Do you think that without the battle, it would have been like? Do you think that battle was necessary? Because he already saved them, but he kind of like let that battle happen anyways. Because he turned off the machine. They're like, "Oh, we're saved. You did it," and then he turns them back on and he fights with them. Do you think that battle was necessary for his plan? I feel like he could have did what he had to do without that battle.
I think it just adds to like it's like levels. So like he disables them. They're like, "Oh, you were right. Like you were right."
Yeah.
So they trust him like halfway, and then he's like, "Oh no, Tony had a backup. Like he had a backup generator, and the signal's going through." And then he goes and smokes all of them with them. Like, and he's like, "Wakanda forever," and then he's killing them. Then they're like, all right, he's real. Like, he was fighting on front lines with us. So, like, all right, now we can trust him fully. He becomes a prince. And then the Black Panther, now, like, it's more accepting. If he had not done that, there's probably be, like, a little bit of resistance for him becoming, like, a legit prince.
Yeah.
And then the Black Panther.
Did you? Okay, I know I'm not about just this one episode.
It was actually the best episode because I have more points on it.
Yeah, so when you were watching it, and then like I didn't. So when I watched it, I didn't know what was going on. Like most of the what ifs, except maybe like the last 2 episodes, I think. I didn't have like I didn't read the title or like what if this or what if that. I just like watched the show, right? So I didn't know. Like I knew when I seen his character, I didn't know what role he was gonna play. So the whole time I thought this was gonna be what if Tony Stark never became Iron Man type thing. So like I just didn't know the direction it was gonna take. Did you know what going into it? Like
No, I didn't, because I thought it was gonna be like, what if like Tony dies and then like what happens to the universe? Because I think they did that.
Oh yeah. That's what I thought when at
they
the
did
beginning.
that in episode 3. All heroes die. And then Captain Marvel shows up.
And he
literally
like
for episode 3. Episode 3 might be one of the worst ones because my notes, it said all heroes die, but Cap is still frozen at the end, and then Captain Marvel shows up. Not much here. That's like my notes.
I'm trying to.
But for
who fight because it was Ant-Man. Ant-Man was the reason why they all died. I like that episode, to be honest. I thought that episode was kind of funny.
No, not all heroes died. They died off of like, it wasn't Ant-Man. It was Pym.
Oh, Hank Pym.
Like he killed everybody, and
then Loki.
That's off a comic book. Like he does kill everybody. He gets cheese and just smokes everybody.
I didn't read the comics on that. I know Loki, and then Loki comes in, and it was Loki and Doctor Strange, no, it was Loki and Nick Fury.
Yeah.
No, Loki and Nick Fury. Yeah.
Loki and Nick Fury.
I like that episode. That one wasn't too bad. That was a good what if.
Back to the Killmonger episode. So there's like little details that they could. This is where I'm like, okay, wait, like, is this canon or not canon? Like, I started questioning it. So, he says in MIT he had created these plans for these soldiers without having actual person inside, so you don't have to risk your actual men. He says it was an MIT document, and Tony loads up the document like this. So the theory is like Tony has access to MIT documents.
Yeah.
And he's been watching like who's like the top dogs, who's the smartest people coming out. And he knows about a girl that's already in MIT, in universe and timeline wise. She would be in MIT studying, and he knows how smart she is. Now she's supposed to be the same girl that plays Ironheart.
Yeah.
So his replacement technically. And apparently there is a series. Like it's already confirmed, but it doesn't have a release date.
Like a series like that's just focused on Ironheart?
Yeah. So that's supposed to be the girl. So it's like when I heard that, I'm like, okay. And the show is confirmed without a release date.
Yeah.
Like
you plotted the lines.
I'm like, is this canon? Like, can this be canon?
I think it's canon.
Does Tony know like they're in good hands with another Iron person?
I think it could be canon. Like maybe they won't directly reference it as
it's a multiverse. Like literally, it could be canon because they're all from different universes.
Yeah.
Like all of it could just.
But happen. It could still like relate. Or as the way I think of it is like even though it happened in this multiverse, like that still kind of connects to this.
There was only slight difference.
Exactly. So I still think like it connects. And then like I don't know, when I watched it, I was like, yo, this is really building on character. Even Thanos, like Thanos was a funny guy in the. I almost forgot about him.
He was actually mad funny
on the show.
Like, oh, somebody said, oh, it's genocide. It's not because it's what did he say? It's random.
Yeah.
And he started petting his cat.
That was actually funny. I was watching it, and then they're all in like the bar. I think was Thor there? I don't know if Thor was there, but
Thor wasn't there.
Thanos being there, that was just hilarious. I like Thanos, like Thanos' character, like he had charisma to him. I know that, okay, that one's a little bit of a stretch to say like that's canon like Thanos, but like that just adds more to like who Thanos is. Like I don't know, it just gives you another layer of Thanos. They actually didn't miss. To be honest, I want to go as far as to say like this is one of the best like productions that they've like put out. Like What If was like one of the best productions.
I guess I don't have like I'm not like with you and I'm not against you, so I'd have to think about that more. I even have it actually I've had on episode 2. I'm like any pieces connecting to canon or like any hints, and then I say not really. That was episode 2, but it does go on. I did like the Dr.strange episode a lot because even like with him split, like he takes on like mad of these mystic beings, and then he takes their power, absorbs them, without having half his strength. So that's something like no, like he's a strong fucking guy.
Yeah.
In that episode, oh, so yeah, I do have a question. Yet the Ancient One splits. So why is it? Because there can only be one time stone. So in that universe, I think they had 2 time stones, and I was like,
how is that possible?
Yeah, is it because there's only one can be used at a time? I don't know. It was weird. They had multiple time stones going on, and then I was like, so why does the TVA have several time stones that don't matter?
Wait, the both Doctor Strange had a time stone?
So these are the questions I have. So I'm like, why does the universe collapse? We were told by the Ancient One, if Strange's girl lives, he doesn't become who the universe needs to save it. Yet the Ancient One splits the Strange into 2, and he is there to save it, but it still collapses. And I'm like, why? And then the other question is it because there can only be one time stone? So why does the TVA have several? Because in that time, Doctor Strange in the past is using the time stone still. Yeah. And the guy in the future, if he's using it, then the guy in the future doesn't have it to fight against Dormammu. So I kind of answer my own questions, but he does have it. We see him have it.
When I think about the TVA having several, the way I think about it with them having several is that they have several time zones because they have access to multiple verses. They have access to the multiple universes. So like they can have a time zone. They can have 6 time zones from different universes, while Doctor Strange can only have 1. But if there's 2 time zones in that universe, then I wouldn't know why there's 2.
How could there be 2? It just doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, these time stories, like if it's not like if you haven't thought about this time, yeah, you can create so many because. Now, and you don't use the same director for every project because obviously you don't do that.
Yeah.
Now, if you're the director or you're the writer and you create something for a timeline story, but now I have to use it, but it doesn't fit my story and I change it a little bit, now the audience can just say, hey, well, how the fuck does this make sense? Because that's how it is. The writers were against the Russo brothers in terms of the timeline and the universes. I think the directors either said, Steve Rogers lives his life normally in the same timeline. He goes back with Peggy and then just lives his life out and just stays in the shadows.
Yeah.
But everybody's like he would do that? Like that doesn't make sense. And then I think the writers came back and said, no, he's in a different universe. So it's like, bro, what's going on? You guys are like arguing with each other on this? And I don't know. That's why I don't like the time.
I feel like time stories are tough, but because I never look too deep into a show, everything just fits perfectly. It all makes sense. Ignorance is bliss to me. So like I'll literally be watching, I'm like, oh, everything makes sense. Even like the zombie ones with like what's his face? Like with Spider-Man and stuff like that. Like all of that made sense to me. WandaVision was in that one. I actually want to ask a question. This kind of veers off from like everything that you just said. Mm-hmm. But like, did you like WandaVision being in this? Did this confirm like WandaVision's power to you? She did something. I can't remember what she did.
No, I knew it. Oh, because she was locked up, and then it wasn't them. It was Ultron. The episode. It was episode 8 where Doctor Strange calls them back to go fight Ultron.
Yeah.
Or was that the last episode? Something like that. And she's fighting by herself because she's just that strong.
Who is she fighting again? Just Ultron?
She was just fighting Ultron. Yeah, she was fighting Thanos by herself.
Yeah.
Without training, without magic knowledge. She does the same thing as a zombie. But the zombie thing didn't make sense, so I didn't think it was sick.
The zombie thing, I think they just threw that in there because that's one of the biggest what ifs.
Yeah, like what if there was a zombie apocalypse? Yeah. They would just know how to use all their power just the same.
I liked when they were in like Grand Central Station, not just because I went there. Like
that's exactly
the first thing I was thinking about. And when I looked at that scene, they actually got it right. Like, you know the spot that you hopped over to like take a picture? Like, I just looked at that spot. They took out the Apple store though. Yeah. And then they just had like the 2 areas. I was like, yo, that's actually like mad accurate. And then like they were going to do the and all of that was funny, like interesting to me. But I feel like they did a good job with like all of that. Did you feel like everyone like coming together in the Guardians of the Multiverse? Like, were you like, oh, this is too cliche? Or you like, was it the team up that you wanted to see, or was it just like whatever?
I could care less about the team.
Yeah, I don't think they picked.
It was just random. Like I was like, I think they just didn't think too much on it. Like it doesn't matter realistically.
Yeah, that's true.
It was cool to see regardless. It was just action. There's not much.
I kind of like seeing what's his face, Killmonger, and like the Black Panther and like the same, like Killmonger's character as part of the team up and stuff like that. And the Black Panther was actually cool. And he called him, you know what's crazy? He called him cousin.
Yeah.
And I was like, yo, that's crazy. That to me, that was wild because he's like, he killed him in another universe. He's like,
you really are different, cousin. You're a cool guy, because he said something about like stealing from the rich and giving to the poor. And he's like, whoa, stealing? You're different. That was cool. The Ultron thing, it was cool. See, I liked that episode, the episode 8. The reason being is because you got to see like the Watcher like actually fight. Like that was cool, because I've never seen the Watcher fight. I've never heard of the Watcher fight, so I didn't know his power level. But he's taking on a being. He loses, but he's taking on a being with immense power, vibranium, and all the powers of the stones.
Yeah,
so he's a strong dude. So
just being able to survive that. I don't know. I didn't really like the fight.
He takes like 2 hits. Like he takes 2 stone damage too. Like if you use reality and the power stone against me, and I shield myself, like that means I can withstand that blast of 2 of them. So like he is strong.
I didn't really like the fight, but maybe because the whole time I was thinking like, oh, like this is the Watcher, and I know his storyline and how like when he makes changes, like they have like because he's not the only Watcher. There's like other ones. Mm-hmm. Well, I don't know about the cinematic universe, but there's supposed to be like a tribunal, and then they talk about like, oh, like why would you do this? Like you've changed the timeline, like you've made adjustments.
Yeah.
So like I don't know, because of that, I was like, I don't know. The Watcher fighting, I just wasn't interested in at all. How did you feel about Widow going to like the Watcher putting Widow in like the timeline where the Widow died?
That's like hinting towards she's coming back in the actual movie.
You think so?
100%.
I didn't think of it as a hint. I just thought like they just did it.
It's a big hint because she and Disney, like they settled on their lawsuits. Remember the financial stuff?
Yeah.
They settled.
You think maybe they just settled because they like her?
It was, you didn't even hear about it because it was just so under the radar.
Yeah, I didn't hear about it.
It was so under the radar. And I remember when it first started, they're like, yeah, Disney doesn't want anything to do with Scarlett Johansson and any other future projects. And then they settle it. Like, bro, nobody even talks about like having the beef. Like, if you saw her on screen, I don't even think your sixth thought would be, oh, they had a dispute. Like, yeah, she's good. Like, this is the way to like plug her back in. If it's not a way to plug her back in, it was kind of like useless.
No, to be honest, I think they did it because, the thing about the alternative, like story wise, not even like just franchise wise, story wise, like she had the option of going back to like the Ultron universe.
She shouldn't have an option.
Who had absolutely no other living life other than her. She was the only living being in that universe.
Yeah, yo, it's tough. Like, it's tough out here. I don't know what to tell you.
What was she gonna do? That's why she's like, yo, I'm not going back.
My question would be, is that your universe?
It is, but what is she gonna do? She said, I'm not going back to that universe. Yeah, man, and then the nigga said, like, bro, I just asked you to be nice. The nigga said, I don't even have to ask you. And then because he made it seem like you go through that door to go back to your universe, but then he just like disintegrated like the room, and then she was fighting on like the Quinjet.
She's all happy and smiling.
That was an ode to Black Widow, in my opinion. Like, that was a reference to the Black Widow movie. Because in the movie, she was fighting on the Quinjet. On the top of the Quinjet.
Everybody's fighting on the Quinjet.
No, not on the top. They don't got everyone fighting on the top.
Everybody's fighting on the top.
I don't think everyone's fighting on the top.
In that thing, I'm pretty sure everybody's fighting.
Oh, everyone's fighting. But the reason why she came in that scene is because in her movie, before like her movie ended, she was fighting on the top of a Quinjet that exploded. To be honest, I was expecting the Quinjet to explode.
Was it even a Quinjet?
It was the Quinjet's like the super big one, right?
Yeah, I don't even think it looked like the Quinjet.
No, it was definitely a Quinjet.
I think it was something else.
Definitely no.
Well, we can go back and see, but
it was definitely a Quinjet.
Like he tells Peggy Carter, like, she's like, did I not earn
the right to be happy, or
the right to be in a happy like universe, right to be happy, period? He's like, nah, man. he's like, I don't know what to tell you. You just gotta do what you gotta do. And then she has to move forward. She looks to Steve and then walks through. So then why does he put her over Peggy Carter? Like, why don't you put Peggy in a universe where she does get to dance with Steve Rogers?
But he put her in a universe. Did you see the after credits?
Yeah.
She's seen him. She's seen Steve Rogers.
But that's like a Hydra version.
No,
Yeah,
he was just locked up in the. He was locked up in the suit.
So he was just good.
I think he was just good.
So in I don't even know when the war was, 1920, 1940, whatever. He's in a train in like fucking Siberia, blows up. He's in some fucking machine and he's like a 110-pound man. He's just good. He's just being solid. Okay, she comes back to old Steve Rogers.
To be honest, they would have to explain it well because he doesn't have the super soldier serum, but they said he was alive.
Yeah, he was alive, and it's also 100 years later, pretty much. So he's the same thing as Bucky. Like they just did a parallel. Hydra took him. Hydra made him into a super soldier, and or Hydra just extended his life somehow.
I actually didn't think about it like that. I thought it was just like in the movies, like how. So
you thought she was good because she gets to live out her life, the remainder of her 20s with a 100-year-old man, and she's fine.
But he's not 100 years old in the machine. He's probably gonna look like 20.
Why?
Because that's just how Captain America was before. That's what I got from the movie. I know it doesn't, but that's what I got from the movie. Like I just got from the movie that he was gonna be the exact same.
He is gonna be the exact same. Because,
he wasn't
because Hydra did something to him.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, Bucky came out all right.
Beyond, if Hydra didn't do anything, how is he the same? You think the Watcher just gifted her?
Didn't they have like the battery? He wasn't using the same battery that Tony Stark was using. I don't know how, but in my mind, he came out perfect.
It just worked out.
Literally in my mind, like now, until you questioned it right now, I thought it was perfect. Now that I'm thinking, I'm like, yo, how would he survive?
Might just be fun.
I'm telling you, it's mad funny because when I watched it, I was like, oh, they're gonna live happily ever after. I didn't even think about any of that.
What about the Gamora thing? Like, did you question that at all?
Like, what do you mean?
So they show Gamora in episode 8 or episode 9, something like that. The Watcher's recruiting her. We see Tony Stark talking to Idri, the dwarf that builds stuff for Thor and stuff. So he's like, we need a suit across the planet, the universe. There's gonna be another big bad. And then Gamora like sees the Watcher, and the Watcher's like, yo, come with me. She's wearing Thanos' outfit because they're coming from Sakaar and she smoked Thanos.
Yeah.
So we didn't see that episode. Like that was the only thing that we didn't see. So why was that? So everybody's thinking that's in season 2. And it is in season 2. The reference of them saying there's another big bad is like maybe it's a different one, maybe it's Galactus, maybe it's somebody else. But Ultron's done, so there's gonna be more to talk about. More what ifs.
Someone said that like they tried so they made the team of all the most likable characters in like the What If season, and she was supposed to be in season 1, but she ended up getting pushed to season 2, and she would have been another character that would have been like likable. I think they said
people are saying, oh, you said it was COVID reasons. Why was
they said COVID reasons.
But they're like, you had time, like it's animation, like
you could do that at home, but I actually don't know. But I think if they had waited and let us see like who she is and let us like her more, maybe we would understand and be more attached to her character like we were with like Killmonger. Who was on that team? Killmonger, Captain Carter, Black Panther, but he's really Star-Lord. Is it Star-Lord?
Star-Lord, yeah.
Yeah. Who's on that team?
Thor.
Oh yeah. Thor and Doctor Strange. It was just the 5 of them, right?
5 or 6.
Yeah, and then they worked with that like evil scientist guy, who I was thinking, I was like, oh, wouldn't this guy betray them? I was like, maybe he won't betray them. He did end up trying to betray them, and then Killmonger was him and Killmonger, they just going head to head, and then they have Doctor Strange watching that little like ice cube. I didn't really understand the little ice cube thing.
Pocket dimension
thing, and like I feel like wouldn't they be like, oh hey, we've been going at this for like however long, we're in a pocket dimension, like hey, maybe we should try and get out.
Pocket dimension, they adjust the time flow or something, or they freeze it, so it's just consistently the same.
Oh, okay, kind of like what Loki had to go through in the TVA.
I guess, yeah.
Okay, that could make sense. That works for me. That's more than enough.
Is there who do you want to see a what if about next?
I don't know. They have some really good ones. I want to see. You're saying like which character? I want to see like a Spider-Man what if, But maybe this is how they incorporate Miles Morales into like
Universe.
this. Yeah, like, but I guess they have Spider-Man into the universe. But I wanted to see more Spider-Man. I kind of like seeing Spider-Man in there. I wanted them to do a X-Men one or Fantastic Four one, like sneak in.
Everybody wanted X-Men.
The X-Men one would have been sick.
I had a feeling we wouldn't see X-Men because, like, they X-Men is so big. They have to do a big reveal. They can't.
But they could have had some little like some Easter eggs. I wanted, like, while I was watching the show, so many times I wanted to text you and be like, I can't remember now, but there'd be spots, things that are happening.
Like, I wouldn't have cared about spoilers.
Really?
Yeah. This one was whatever to me.
Because there's things that would happen. I'm like, I know they're referencing a character or a situation, but I just don't know what situation. Or like Doctor Strange. I didn't know. I was like, yo, what was the what if for Doctor Strange? Like, what actually happened in his life? And I didn't realize, like, oh, I had to Google it to realize that his hands were the things that were taken from him.
Yeah.
In the original one. I forgot about that one. The Hulk one, the girl university. Who's that girl?
That you didn't watch like the first Hulk movie?
No,
that's Betty Ross. That's General Ross's daughter. Bruce dates her.
Oh yeah.
Bruce dates her or marries her, one of the other.
That one I didn't understand. What else was there? Hank Pym. I didn't really like get the situation. He
was sad about like his daughter getting smoked on a mission with Shield, but like she volunteered for that. So like, what did you want?
Was that mission canon?
No, that didn't happen in the. I don't even know if you can say this is canon or not canon. So we can just refer to
canon to me.
Whatever the MCU is, like the movies. You can just say that's prime timeline.
After watching the Killmonger episode, it's canon to me.
Bro, if Killmonger, I hope they make Killmonger the Black Panther. I just hope that comes back. Yeah, that would be sick.
But they're not gonna redeem. Now that I've seen this, there's no way they're gonna redeem him as a good hero type character. So I feel like he's never gonna come back.
Yeah, that sucks, bro. Like Michael B. Jordan's character, and they even drew him like Michael B. Jordan because they're like, this is sick.
It was super sick just to see him as a character in it.
Thor was drawn differently. Gamora was slightly different. Doctor Strange was Doctor Strange.
Yeah.
Vision was obviously Vision. Yeah, so there's some characters that like Black Panther, T'Challa, same guy, but this guy like deserved it.
Do you have more episode questions? Because I have more like general questions.
I don't have episode questions. You can just.
So my general question is, I know I kind of said this before, but like, how do you rank this? Like, is this like movie level quality for you?
No.
How is it not movie level quality? Like, if I pull up the list of Marvel movies, I could list a lot of Marvel movies that are better. That this is better than. I was watching this and I was like, yo, this is greater than some Marvel movies.
Okay, like what?
This is better than Black Widow. What if it's better than Black Widow? To me.
I guess it's on the same level. I enjoyed Black Widow. I thought it was funny.
Captain Marvel. What if it's better than Captain Marvel?
No, Captain Marvel is a big movie.
You don't think it's better? Like when you watched it? Thor Ragnarok was really good. I can't even hear.
Captain Marvel. What are you basing this off of?
Just the 9 episodes that we watched.
The
9 episodes that we watched. Was it funnier
than the movies?
Just and more entertaining.
Overall,
like sit down watching entertaining.
I say beyond like the one. Like,
you didn't.
I'll say 3 episodes wasn't like that great, but beyond that it was pretty good.
I feel like they could do so much more with this one. So like they had characters dying, they had like betrayals, they had so much different things. I feel like they did in the what
like,
if.
Whoa, like this guy got Tony and this guy happened. They
did stuff that they could not do in the movies.
I agree. It's better than Black Widow, better than Captain Marvel. What else?
Let's see. I like Ant-Man. I want to say better than Ant-Man, but I don't know if it's recency bias.
I'll say it's better than
I like Guardians of the Galaxy. Maybe it's better than Guardians of the Galaxy 2. I can't remember the difference between 2 and 1.
No, Guardians is just
Thor
funny.
Is definitely better than Thor Dark World.
I like Thor Dark. I liked all the Thors, but people hate Thor. Like they hate all the Thor movies. I couldn't even finish
this movie. I don't even think I finished.
Yo, they hate. To be honest, that movie was mad slow, but I like it.
Thor. Yeah, I don't think I've. This one, I definitely didn't like this one. Iron Man 3. Apparently, these two don't like being in the movie. The Iron Man movies. Incredible Hulk. Like it really ranks up there in like the media type that they.
I said it would be like mid tier.
It's fair. I can see why you say mid tier, but I really do think it's like extra. Like I really mess with it. So I was just trying to see You sound like you like mid. I feel like it was really good. Like I watched this and I was like, "Yo,
I'll
this
say
is one of the
mid
best."
mid to good. Like,
This is one of the best things I got
decent.
from Marvel. This is one of the best things.
Okay, that's
because the stories
that's
were
a hot take, guys.
the stories were
Back
so
on
like
R&B Reviews.
like I didn't know what was gonna happen. Like I was watching, I was like, "Oh my god!" Like anything could happen.
It was interesting.
The only thing I didn't like about
But
it,
to say like it's the top of Marvel.
the only thing I didn't like about it is at the end they kind of like they're like, "Oh, we're all good." Like everything, it's like a happy story kind of at the end.
It is superheroes at the end. What do you think?
Like, what do I think about the superheroes? Or like just at the or you're saying at the end, like
of the
it's
day,
about
it's a superhero movie. So
nah. I want they should have kept
always
it
wins. But
more dark.
But in terms of like the universes, like whoever got clapped in the universe is clapped.
I gotta rank the episodes because I should have ranked it because
You should have.
I know the Black Panther one is up there. I know the T'Challa one is up there. I know if I felt sad, T'Challa didn't get to see his parents and stuff like that. I know
He
what
did
else?
at the end.
He hugged them, right? Yeah, I don't know.
He's just Baba.
That's all I have. To be honest, I don't know if what would you rate it out of 10?
6.9.
Really?
7.1.
So if I rated it 9, am I being extra?
You really loved it.
I really liked it. I think.
But there's
it's a
3
9.
episodes that wasn't good, and that's 33% of the criteria.
There was.
So
there wasn't good to me.
So if there's 3 episodes that wasn't good to you,
the first one was not good.
If 3 episodes wasn't good to you, and then we'll say 3 episodes was bangers, 10 out of 10s. This is just math. You don't have to use math. Like it's all tangible, intangible stuff, right? And say the last 3 episodes were like mid tier, like numbers statistically speaking, that's mid.
Like a 8.5,
mid to good, which is what I'm saying. Well, that's a little high.
I really like that. I can't really.
So those top 3 would have to be like complete hits.
This makes me want to almost do like a Marvel tier list. Because I don't know about the other Marvel movies, but I would just be in the Marvel tier list just to put this.
We can have Marvel tier list and then have this as a.
Of course, and I think this would be like a S tier.
I think you're gonna be surprised about how many movies that I put like higher than
above this. No. It's just so good, like to watch. It's refreshing to watch a show, and obviously it's cheating because they have these characters that they built upon for like hours and hours and hours in movies, and we watch it, and now they can do anything with these characters. They can make a dark story.
Yeah, so they have the advantage.
You never really get that with TV.
But you get that with comics, because this comic book, this guy happens this guy happens that. It was good though overall. I'm not gonna hate on you. It was solid.
I'm trying to think of any more questions. Did you notice when they use different actors for certain characters?
Most of the time, yeah. Like when the voice actors, most of the time I could guess when it was the actual voice of the actor.
Was Michael B. Jordan the actual voice?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. I think
Michael B. Jordan was. Tony Stark wasn't. Tony, no, he wasn't.
I thought it was the actual one.
Because they would have to pay the man.
Nick Fury, was it original Nick Fury?
Yeah.
Okay. Spider-Man,
no. I don't think I think he probably was busy with another movie or something.
Probably busy with Spider-Man. I don't know what that guy does. I can't think of anything else.
It was good.
I think I talked. I said everything I had to about this. The one last thing I would say is facts. Like you've obviously watched it if you made it this far, but if you haven't, I would 100% recommend watching it. And then you could watch.
Even with spoilers, it's still entertaining.
Yeah, it's definitely still entertaining. One thing I want to say is I didn't think it would be all connecting at the end. I was gonna tell you could skip episodes, but like now at the end it made sense why you couldn't do that because they tie everything in at the end.
Yeah, and it'll be cool. Like if you watch it and you know everything that happened, it's gonna be cool if they take pieces of what if storylines and then incorporate it to like the new movies that are supposed to be dropping. Then you can sit back and say, "Oh, I saw this piece," or like
that would be too sick.
Or this was cool, but it was the opposite of what happened in What If, or something like that.
That would be sick if they did it related. I think they can. They can
100%.
Even bring like a character.
They have so much room to do whatever they need to do. Overall, I gave it like a 7. We'll say 7 for now. My friend over here says it's a 9.
Spider-Man Into the Multiverse, maybe that Spider-Man might be in Spider-Man Into the Multiverse.
Spider-Man Far From Home. Dr. Strange in the Multiverse.
Oh, yeah.
But overall, that pretty much wraps it up for us. It's been a while since we got an episode out. We're just a little busy with a few things. We're gonna be dropping some more episodes here and there, so check those out. Like, comment, and subscribe. We also have the audio and the audio formats on Spotify, Apple Music, and the Google Podcast. So if you like to just listen rather than watch, you can do that. But yeah, if you have any comments or suggestions on what we should be reviewing, let us know. And we're out.
Easy, guys.